I would call to order the Warrant and Finance Committee meeting on December 4th, 2023. And as usual, a Pledge of Allegiance is the first order of business.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We don't need to appoint an alternate. So we need to approve the minutes from October 23rd, if Charlie would make a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Just one change that I see on it. Under the nominations, the Joyce was nominated for vice chair, not chair.
Yep.
That's why it's a draft.
Okay, any other notice anything else needs changing? We have a second then on approving the minutes?
Second.
All in favor? Moving right along. Old business, I put down the last meeting, which was the election of the officers. And like I said, thanks to Charlie, I found out about it. And as Dennis pointed out, you should not miss a meeting. I also heard what Charlie said when he volunteered me to do the transfer station, which actually I'm glad I am. So thank you, Charlie.
Anything for you, Dave?
I believe you. I just wanted to say thank you again, like I did in my email, which was quite a surprise sitting here to those folks that supported me doing this, which was a big surprise. But in my email, I also said why I won't do it, or why I'm not accepting it. So anyway, thank you for those of you that had faith in me doing this. And that brings the next order of business, which is I have to officially resign as chairman. So that's what I'm doing now, which means then we have to elect someone to replace me. So we need a motion to have nominations for to elect a chair.
Point of order, should we make it official of your resignation?
What does that mean?
You're going to resign anyway, right? Either way.
I don't understand.
I mean, we can accept or not accept. We can leave you in that spot.
That's not an option.
The resignation, man.
I can
Okay.
still run pretty fast.
Okay, Phil, we're not going to accept it, all right?
Okay. I always like humor, so that's good. So I need a motion to go ahead and elect a replacement chair.
I nominate Leslie Berlin.
Second.
Any other nominations? Charlie, you interested? I'll nominate Joyce.
Second.
Okay. How do we do this now? We just, let's have a vote on, for Joyce as chair.
You've already
All those in
resigned,
favor?
right?
What's that?
You've resigned already, right?
Right, but nobody else can take the seat yet because we don't.
Vice chair fills the seat of
Okay.
the chair in the absence of a chair.
That's very technically true, but
Okay, well, I was the old vice chair.
Pardon?
I was the old vice chair, and I guess I'm the vice, well, yeah, I'm still the vice chair. All right, so we have two nominations, one for Leslie, one for Joyce. So is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all right, who wants to see Leslie as chair?
I was going to abstain, but
All right, that was what,
5.
5? Okay. All right. Now, that leaves, with me being elected chair, that leaves the vice chair seat open. So I will open the floor for nominations to fill the vice chair spot.
I nominate Charlie.
Can't, I'm an alternate.
I don't,
I don't believe you, Charlie.
is that true, that you can't serve as a?
No, I'm an alternate. I
That
wouldn't
is
be allowed to
correct.
vote.
Yeah,
He's
okay,
right.
all right. I'll nominate Ray.
Thank you, but I decline the position.
I'm sorry?
I decline the nomination, thank you.
Okay,
Wow.
I'll nominate Phil.
Okay, at least I'm here this time. Yes. What do you think, Tom?
He doesn't get a vote.
He doesn't.
I know,
I don't get involved.
I'm just seeing if he was,
I'm gonna stay out of this.
I'm just, that's smart. No, I'd have to decline that too as well. There's definitely people with a lot more experience. And I'll nominate Joyce for vice chair.
But then that leaves the secretary spot open.
Oh, boy.
Go through that.
I think that Joyce's talents are better served as the secretary. I don't know how many other people, what other people think, but
Who else do we have to choose from?
you
Joe's
and,
not here.
Lee.
Me and Ray?
Joe?
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute, since Joe's not here, I have an idea. He could fill a position that he's,
Do this all over again next time.
yeah, we're not doing that.
So basically that leaves Joyce, you are a fabulous secretary. So, I just want to reiterate that.
Oh, no.
We do have the nomination on the floor, though.
Have a
Four.
nomination open,
Yeah.
yeah. Looking for a nomination.
All nominations have been declined.
That's a problem.
Well, I'll nominate Joyce.
Look, we can play this kind of game all evening if we want. And then if I say, yes, fine, and I have 5 votes, and then we need a secretary. Who wants to be secretary?
Is this something that Joe would consider?
No,
I didn't
no.
think so.
And I'm sorry I said that so quickly, but no.
Looks like it's John's turn.
I'll say, I was the vice chair the prior year, and the duties of the vice chair basically are to fill in when the chair can't be available.
You have any trips planned?
No, I don't.
See?
Do you have anything, do you have any sick time coming?
The prior chair would call me on occasion to ask, say, here's a situation, if you were chair, what would you do? So, he would bounce things off me.
Good job.
So
even know what
it's,
my job is now.
the work involved is minimal.
Ray, you won't reconsider that?
No, I'm too busy. I was actually considering resignation from the committee,
Oh, yeah?
but and I see that we have some issues right now, so. My workload is.
You know, I think we're between a rock and a hard place. Because, wherever you need me, that's where I'm going to be. Do I think I do a better job, frankly, than anybody sitting here on minutes and keeping us legal? I do. I really do. But
All right, I will,
what would we,
if I can get some help with this. God, look at this.
Go on, step off
Go
the
on.
plank, John.
Get some help learning the ropes.
Mr. Dennekamp, if I were to take you under my wing, having been on this committee, Joe and I are the ones we've been on it the longest now. This is my second term. To take you under my wing and keep you out of politics, I would like to nominate you for vice chair. Would you accept?
I second it.
Thank you.
Come on, John, take it.
Thank you, Charlie.
I remember you said you wanted to learn. I watched the video.
It's a great way to learn.
That's the one thing I remember you saying. There's your perfect opportunity.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Quick, take a vote before he resigns.
All right. Any other nominations?
Look at the time.
Any discussion? All in favor?
John? Congratulations.
Thank you,
That
Charlie.
worked out.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
That's good news.
Well, we're kind of stuck.
No, you take
Well-
this chair and I go, John comes over here.
Oh, God.
So you can, we can just leave the things
Okay,
as.
good.
Yeah, we can do that next.
Thank you,
Yeah,
John.
next meeting, we'll
We don't.
sort that out, yeah.
I went to the meeting on 11/15 where they had Mark Roy with the selectmen,
Yeah,
and Joyce was there, and Dennis, and
I thought we were doing it the week before, and I never got a notice that he wasn't coming, so I was not at that one.
And what I have on the agenda there is to discuss, I don't know if any of you watched the meeting on video, but Leslie brought up a good point about discussing what was there, why we were going there in the first place, to listen to Mark and what the plan was. So I know Leslie has some observations, but anything anyone has to say or ask about that, because it was pretty important.
I have a question on that, but I looked at the email that came across, and they're looking at sending a quarterly statement, correct?
Monthly.
Oh, monthly statement? Okay. And I was just, my question had, I thought it was a quarterly, being we're going through this process, would they be able to do it on a monthly basis? But now we know that that is.
that is what it is.
You should have already received October, which is your second report.
We were emailed them, Tom. I just got home from Europe on Saturday, and I was not able to print all of those. For some reason, there's something wrong with my printer, but the printer kept spitting out blank pages.
Did you say they were not emailed to you?
They were emailed.
There's-
They were.
That's right.
Yes.
That's how they were sent to you.
I did ask Jennifer to put hard copies in the box, but,
No, you can pick it up with her.
yeah.
I did not see the October statement. I did print out the July through September that came from them. And that's why I thought it was.
I think there was
Yeah,
an,
they were there.
I think, Tom, was that an Excel statement?
I'm sorry?
The October one, was that in Excel, or was that a Word
I believe so.
document?
It was, I believe they all come in Excel.
Yeah.
It was sent out first week of November.
Yeah, November 15th.
Oh, second week, okay.
Yeah, November 15th, they came out. But I would like to say that we use my husband's printer, and some of you know, my husband does work full-time, and his company printer would not accept printing those because they felt there was
Virus.
a virus in them. It could just be the way his company has it
Sometimes
set up.
printing out a
But I mean,
PDF
I
is
have them,
tricky anyway.
I have them here, and where, yeah, I can look at them, and I actually did look at them. But, and I know I can ask for them, so I didn't think that was a big deal.
That sounds like a printer problem.
Not a big problem at all.
Yeah, so, I mean, I couldn't print them, and I tried to, and I got frustrated and gave up.
As far as that point on the agenda, is just a note on the bottom, since we realized there was an issue, we probably weren't gonna have hard copies and people weren't here yet, is to get a hold of them at least so we can review them prior to the next meeting, which hopefully is before the next month is up, I would think.
Should be.
Because there's nothing to look at. I mean, we don't all have hard copies, and not everybody was able to print anything, so that part is just a note at the bottom, but we still have questions or discussions possibly about the meeting itself and what Mark Roy presented, if anyone has a discussion.
Yeah, I have a few things. I mean, I was away when he was here. And I did watch the meeting when I came home. Actually, I watched it twice, just to make sure I wasn't missing anything. There was a couple observations. In a perfect world, what we budget should equal expenditures. Like I said, that's a perfect world. And I think that the goal should be to have the budget and the actuals be as close together as possible. Now, I understand that doesn't always happen. And with, Mark had mentioned something about historical trends, and Tom, correct me if I am misunderstanding what he said, where he talked about the difficulty of looking at past years' historical trends, and I disagree with that in that we seem to overestimate our expenditures while underestimating revenues, which creates a surplus. And we need to look at where that surplus is coming from, I think, so we can try to narrow the discrepancies between them. And I understand that that's a lot of work, that's a lot of, some of the stuff that we could do. And he also talked about contingency funds and capital improvement. In his discussion, it sounded like he was advocating giving the Board of Selectmen, to set up these funds and to give the Board of Selectmen. It sounded like, and again, correct me if I'm misunderstanding, that he wanted to, he thought that the selectmen should have unilateral authority to use these funds for whatever purposes they deemed. So, like I said.
Which funds?
That's not what I did.
That's
Okay.
not what it was at all.
Okay, like I said, that's why I'm bringing it up, because that's what it sounded like to me, and of course, I could have misunderstood what he had
No,
said.
that's, any capital improvement fund account, anything you want to call it, goes to town meeting first. The authority is in town meeting.
But he was talking about having not to have designated funds for like roads and a designated fund for the transfer station and all the different departments, because it removes some flexibility.
No.
And he suggested having like maybe one or two of these funds that the selectmen could tap into whenever something came up.
There are two things, if I might, because I was very interested in that as the former chair of capital improvement. I'd say right here, I'm absolute agreement with him. I believe there's a really strong place to have capital accounts.
I'm not saying.
Oh, I know you don't. I know you're not saying that at all. But that's something that is not in this wheelhouse to take care of, frankly. This is not Warrant and Finance job to take care of that. And actually, how the accountants are doing their job, as long as they are fulfilling their obligation to us, the town, the contract, what they've agreed to do with the selectmen, that's also not Warrant and Finance. It's not in our purview.
That's not what I said.
Us talking about it makes, seems it is in our purview, and it's not. This is the kind of thing, I believe, one would need to go to a selectmen's meeting and say, just what you said, I heard something at this meeting, and this is, I'm asking you to clarify, am I right or wrong, or did I misunderstand? But the accountant said A, B, C, D. Now, am I right in that? That needs to take place at a selectmen's meeting.
Tom, you have something?
May I clarify? I believe that conversation that you're referring to, that statement by him, was in response to a question we had about what he sees in other towns in terms of best practice. And I think that's what he was relaying.
Okay,
So it is there as, from my perspective, something for the selectmen to think about, to determine whether that might be useful, to check with legal counsel, to make sure it's legal. If it's legal and useful, then the selectmen can consider it. We have not done any of that work. It was simply Mark Roy saying, this is how I see it work at other towns, and it works well. That was my recollection of it.
okay. Well, like I said, I mean, there was something that I didn't understand, and I've.
He doesn't make those decisions.
Right.
He was simply asked to, and you're gonna hear this a lot, where we will ask him what he sees in other towns, so that we can be informed by that and consider whether there's something there for us or not. Whether Acton does that or not, there's still a lot of work to be done, and to be honest with you, it's not on the top of my mind right now as a high priority. Okay?
Okay. Those are the couple of things that I picked up. Anyone else have any thoughts, comments, questions?
I was able to print out the financial reports, and I thought they were very readable. And if we get this on a monthly basis, I think it's a huge step forward on being able to monitor the financial situation of the town. I was very impressed with the detail that was provided and how it summed up into the various departments. So you can dig as deep as you want, or you can keep it elevated to a high level, depending on what your interest is, digging into the numbers. So I was impressed. I did go to the selectmen's meeting. The dialogue back and forth was an open dialogue, and I thought it was very constructive from all parts. I mean, these people represent other communities, and they see things that allow them to be able to address things for best practices. And I think we should be open to listening to them and helping providing some guidance, because the budget process, I think, has been somewhat convoluted and difficult, and you're not getting good financial reporting to make your decisions on. And having that and getting a clarification on the calendar and what's expected from each party and how it builds into the final warrants for the town to vote on is the right way to go, and keep all the horses lined up in the same direction and make sure that we have a good document when we get done.
Yeah, I mean, and I've been on board with hiring this firm right from the beginning, because, you know, I felt that we needed the assistance and, you know, that level of knowledge in order to help drive our budget.
I attended also, and I thought it was probably one of the better select meetings that I've seen in my short tenure in town. As far as historical information, I think one of the comments that Mr. Roy had made was that it would be difficult, I'll use that word, to go and integrate the old records with the way that they do their records. So what I would suggest is that you contact the administrator and see about getting properly formatted historical records of X number of years.
I mean, I do have a number of years in a CVS format, and I just have to look to see what years I don't have and try to, like, I think the last year, some of the account numbers had changed, so it was difficult to put them in.
Right, and that's going to be one of the hurdles, is
Yeah.
different formatted files.
But
It's going to be a lot of.
I have probably 6 or 7 years, prior years, but I don't remember, you know, offhand what years that. they
Years
were.
of
Of,
end of year or
Expense
or
reports and
months?
stuff.
Oh, okay,
Yeah. Yeah, year end,
year end.
yeah.
Because we can get all that from annual reports as well.
So, but it being
There's a
put in
lot
a
of
C,
man-made.
being put in a CVS format
Yeah, well,
makes it a
that
lot
oh,
easier to,
Who's going to do it? Yeah, that would be lovely. Yeah, lovely.
Michelle used to do it for us.
Hmm?
Michelle always did it. It was a matter of pressing a button, and it would pop it out.
But maybe,
she's not
maybe you
here.
could, maybe you could go and talk to the administrator and see whether or not it's possible to
Tom?
get that in one file.
Can I make a suggestion? Once the committee decides what it wants to do, why don't you put it in an email to Jennifer, and we'll see if we can do it. Okay, but you gotta make clear what you want, and once you've done that, she'll look at that and with the treasurer, and we'll see if we can get it done. Okay? I don't know whether you want 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, but be clear about what you want.
Yeah, and Tom, until I look at my old file, I won't know what
I'm
years,
just
yeah.
saying, you know, if you can decide what you want, then send that to Jennifer, and we'll see what we can do. Fair enough?
Fair enough, yeah.
Tom, I wanted to reiterate a question that I asked at the Mark Roy meeting. And it was in reference to access on the website to the town's investment accounts, uploading the monthly statements so that everybody has access to them. And I was wondering, did anything occur with that? I haven't been to the last meeting.
I've spent some time going over those. I'm happy to post them. I've got to white out any sensitive information on them, or black out any.
Redact, yeah.
Redact.
Things such as that, because it's like posting your bank statement. And it's equivalent to that.
Right.
I have no problem posting it. I'll have to check with the other selectmen. Having said that, I think most people will have a hard time really gleaning anything of substance from those, but I'm happy to post them. But I'm not sure they're gonna, it took a fair amount of my time to analyze those, to get to basic information that I was interested in finding. So.
No, I understand that, but still, it's the point of at least having public access to them for those of us that do know what they mean.
Great, I'll see if I can get it posted.
All right, thank you.
I'll talk to the other selectmen.
Yes, sir, thanks.
On that thread, I mean, I guess I'm on the fence on that, because I agree, I like transparency. But I'm wondering whether that would cause mayhem and confusion with the masses, asking questions that really would be difficult to answer, you know, month by month. Because what the funds do, I mean, they're pretty conservative funds. It's not like you're trading.
Yeah, it's a fixed
stocks.
interest rate, and it's pretty predictable each month, but it is a matter primarily of transparency. I mean, the town approved the policy, you know, to allow the selectmen to do that, which of course is legal by statute. And I just think it's a good practice, especially when it comes to that much money that belongs to the town, that they at least have the availability somewhere to look at that, because there's nowhere to see it.
The
Well, I
town,
think
the
everyone
town does
I
have.
agree.
People always have the opportunity
They always
to
have the
look at
ability
that
to-
by just
to
doing a
ask for
FOIA
it.
request.
Yeah, that's not, yeah, I know you can do a FOIA request. That's not
Right.
exactly transparent.
No, it's not, but it's always available for those who really have a burning question.
Well,
What?
I mean, a lot of the details, I think the details, that should be left up to the Board of Selectmen. I mean, it's not a warrant and finance issue. The town really isn't going to understand them as well as
right.
someone who may have better financial acumen.
Well, you can redact a whole bunch of it if you
I
want.
think you're right, Charlie, it's not a warrant finance committee, but I took this as a request from citizens. So, having said that, I am not going to answer all of the questions that are going to come up when anyone looks at this statement. It's got all kinds of technical information in there that could result in a fair amount of questions,
Yep.
repetitive questions. And quite frankly, I'm not going to spend my time answering all those questions.
Well, based on that time, then, Tom, there's no point in doing it then.
No, I mean, I'll put them out, as you've asked. I'll see if I can get them put out. But what I'm trying to, I'll tell you what, you take a look at it, or I'll send you one of them. And you take a look at it, and you tell me if anyone looking at this can really get what they want to know. What do I have investments at the end of the month? And what did I have at the beginning of the month and the end of the month? And how much interest did I earn?
Right.
That's, if
That they'll get.
suffice it to say that I spent a few hours trying to get that. It's all there, but you had to interpret it and analyze it, and so it's not as easy as you might think it is. It's not like getting a brokerage restatement on your retirement account.
And that's why I wanted to bring it up again, to have this conversation, because if it's not a good idea to do for those reasons and cause more work and not provide any real information to the average Joe, or Charlie, then there's no point in doing it. You know, I don't.
I'm not gonna say no.
No, I understand.
A citizen has asked for it. It's available. It's under freedom of information. I'm not asking you to go through that road. So we'll make it available. I'm just warning you. I suspect it may not provide the kind of transparency that you're looking for.
And that's why I'm literally redacting the request.
Okay.
You know, so it's not worth doing it, sounds like, if it's gonna create that much trouble.
I will tell you, we're on track for making a little in excess of 200,000 in interest this year. It looks like around 210, based on what my analysis says. So that's pretty much.
Well, those little details are, you know, everybody can understand that, and that's all they wanna hear in the end.
Right.
My question is, and this is probably naive, me being naive, but where is that revenue showing up on our financial statements?
There is an interest income account. I don't believe there's very much in there because those accounts haven't been fully reconciled and recorded. The interest hasn't been recorded. That should happen sometime this month. And then we'll.
So there'll be a delay.
There'll be something like.
Because I was kind of looking for that interest,
Yeah, I know.
and I didn't see any number large enough to make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
But shouldn't that be all listed as assets?
No, the revenue.
Revenue.
Well, the investments
It's
are
revenue.
interest.
Luckily, not taxable.
I'm sorry?
Luckily, it's not taxable.
That's correct.
Anything else on this topic or any other? Charlie?
I had wondered, I don't know, Leslie, if you were going to bring it up. Some of us have been to a school committee meeting. We were, we found out, we were invited to the meeting, and they have come up with from when I knew, it was a proposed budget schedule. And I know at a selectmen's meeting, there was talk of bringing them together so we could be working in the same time period. And I was just wondering if we have any information on what the schedule is now, particularly the end of the schedule, since I wasn't at the last.
You had a question, Dave?
Yeah, if you don't mind. It is now. Thank you, Tom.
All right. We are planning on having the month of April set aside for the approval of the school and the town budget. The exact date has not yet been set. There's some question about whether it will be done in one meeting or two. I think the select board and the school board need to talk more about that. Select board made its views known that we want it in one meeting on Saturday. School committee wants to see the school budget approved on a weeknight. They're fine with having the town budget approved on the same weeknight, but that's impractical. You're not going to get through 70 or 80 warrant articles in an evening. So the idea was to hopefully do it on a Saturday, but in all due respect to the school board, that's something that still needs to be talked to them about. But I think April is the time frame when we plan to have hopefully, one or two town meetings to approve the budget. That there'll be a discussion at the select board meeting Wednesday that will provide more detail on the timing of the municipal budget. It was expressed at the last meeting that we hope to have the municipal budget prepared by the end of December. It may be a little optimistic, but it's not going to be beyond the middle of January. It might take a couple more weeks. So hopefully, the select board will have to take a formal position on this, whether it's a vote or not, I don't know. I don't know if it's a vote. But they'll have to decide a date to have the municipal budget completed. And when that's done, it will be made available to the Warrant and Finance Committee in the form of the budget. And I don't know exactly when the warrants will be drafted, sometime between some weeks after that. That's generally where it is now. I'm sorry I can't get any more specific because the select board hasn't really talked about it beyond what was discussed at the last select board.
Tom, do you have a ballpark as to when you might have that information and know exactly,
Have what information?
to know when, after the discussion with the school board, do you know when that might happen?
I don't know. I think there's, no.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't know when it will be done. I know both parties are anxious to get it done, and we're just trying to work in a collaborative way to figure out what's best for the town. And so when we know, you'll know.
Fair enough.
I couldn't hazard a guess how that's going to come.
Anything else, Leslie?
No. Anyone else have anything? No?
Public comment? Come on. Come on, Dennis. We miss the talking.
All right.
Well,
Our next
Leslie?
meeting?
Leslie,
Yes.
it didn't happen yet, but we all got to let him know we didn't want him to resign and thank him for doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I do want to say, Phil,
Yes?
we're all very sad that you resigned as chair. And,
Because I'm getting to know you, Charlie.
I'm very sad.
so, we certainly appreciate all of your effort that you put in,
And we're glad you're staying.
and we're glad that you're not leaving. Ray, you can't leave either.
Yeah, you're the one who brought me here.
So,
I know that, you voted for me, I saw that.
Anyway, but,
No, like I said, I appreciate, and I was very surprised by that and other things that people do, and I'm not quite sure why you do it, but thank you.
Yep.
It doesn't matter, it's very nice, and I appreciate it, thank you.
Well, we're glad you're sticking with us, though.
yeah.
Someone has to come up with questions for Tom that, as a citizen. Thank you. No, thank you, Tom, I'm serious, we don't need to,
So, just to clarify, you've withdrawn that request?
yeah, that's why I wanted to bring it up again, because
If
it,
you want to see something, let me know.
yeah, I will.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring it up and clarify it and have you, because I didn't get a chance to get a real answer at the selectmen meeting.
Nah, well, I didn't know what to say to begin
Right.
with, so I had to think about it.
Right, so this was good, I just wanted to hear, obviously it brings up issues, as Charlie pointed out, so thank you.
I'll just ask you about it.
Okay. All right.
Do you want people to start talking to, do you want the liaisons to
Oh, yes.
become active?
Yes, the liaisons, I think, should reach out to your departments, and just to touch base and introduce yourself and, find out where they stand, what they expect from us and what we expect from them, and so,
Last year, made up for it.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Just in case if anyone is interested, the school board meeting has been changed to the 12th. there's some type of,
Yeah.
Okay. It's on their
I would-
website,
I
right?
would- I would say, and Ray knows this, that working on the school board with their budget is a very eye-opening thing. And if you're new to this, I suggest that you go to the school board budget meetings, and one of their members makes chocolate chip cookies, so
Yep.
you can't beat it.
You'll learn a lot there, John.
It was very informative, and,
Extremely
yeah,
so.
they
yeah.
are very forthcoming with any information that we ask for. A lot of times we'll have it 10 minutes after we ask for it. So they're very transparent.
They're a very well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
They are. Good or bad, they are. One thing before they leave, your secretary would like to ask some questions. Mr. Vice President, Vice Chairman, yeah, look over your shoulder.
Just got
John, you're, well, for everybody that's running, I might vote for you, Oh, we're not talking about feds, are we? I keep getting your emails back, so I must have something
From the
wrong.
town? From the town, or from
From
me?
both, from
Oh,
both.
really?
Good night, thank you.
Good night, Tom, thank you.
My email from the town, just, I wasn't getting anything, and then just like that, the other day, I got
A bunch,
a bunch.
yes, yeah, I'm aware. So so everybody here knows it. You are Warrant and Finance, what?
3, I believe.
I corrected my name too, so
You corrected your name.
I'm no longer Bernie.
You're not Bernie, okay. Lee, do you have your Warrant and
Yeah, he came
Finance?
through as Bernie.
Bernie used to be.
Because it tied to number 7, I had to go in and change it, and I never did.
You-
It's fixed.
It's like, why is
It doesn't
Bernie
work.
saying
It's fixed now, so-
Email that Jennifer clicks on and I click on it, I can get in and get.
It's the worst system going, and it has been for many, many years.
No,
And if you need to set up notifications, I know how to do that.
I have no idea how to communicate through it.
Okay, now, so for one more time, and some of you I have, so just bear with us, phone numbers. So, John, a phone number for you, please.
50.
You want to do this later so it's not on camera?
Yeah, this shouldn't be
It doesn't
public.
matter, okay, well, if you don't mind, we'll take that into executive session. We're gonna get phone numbers in executive session, people. Thank you.
Okay.
We have a motion to adjourn.
All right,
now?
hold on, we need to set our next meeting.
We still need a date.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. All right,
We'll be getting busy soon.
yeah, we will
If you're
be.
doing this quick, I can do any Monday, because I still have time to go to basketball.
Oh, don't come on.
This is a quick meeting, they're usually longer.
Yeah.
well, not anymore, Dennis is not here.
That's why,
We're not off camera yet.
Madam Chair, I do have something to say.
I think
Leslie, he's talking to you.
Too long. The selectmen said, I don't know, remember when, maybe it's 3 or 4 meetings ago, that developing the budget this year, there's going to have the liaison from the Warrant Finance Committee and the liaison from the Board of Selectmen meet with the department heads to have input on development of the budgets. That was 2 or 3 meetings ago. And I don't know how many on the Warrant Finance Committee was aware of what they had said.
When Mark Roy was at the one select board meeting, he said that he thought that would slow the process. So I think that
He thought what, sorry?
he thought that having the liaison for the Warrant and Finance meeting with the liaison to the department, meet with the department would gum it up.
Oh,
So I'm not sure that is going to happen.
well, as the municipal liaison, I walk in on any of those and haven't been thrown out yet,
Yeah.
so,
I'm just saying this is what was said.
I know, I was sitting there with you. I was sitting there with you, so,
So,
And obviously, they're moving up the budget process between the school and the municipal end. You guys might be meeting a couple times a week.
yeah.
yeah.
Next meeting.
It's already
Okay.
December.
So next meeting, all right, it's already December 4th. So that would put us in January for the next meeting.
Yeah,
The first is a Monday.
Which is New
not
Year's Day.
doable. Yeah.
That's right. Joyce.
So do you want, the next Monday is a January 8th? Does that work for everyone?
I believe so.
That's always President's birthday.
I'm sorry?
That's always President's birthday.
Thanks for that input. I needed to know that today.
Can you come in and do hound dog for us then?
Okay, so the next meeting is January 8th, 6 PM. I will send that request to Jennifer this evening and confirm that with everyone through your town email, just once I get the confirmation from her, because there's nothing posted for January yet.
you have to be very careful reading the town calendar, because not everything is getting into the town calendar, I've noticed. And I think you as chair, me as secretary, maybe if we kind of push it a little bit, to please put our dates on the town calendar. Anybody can come, and we'll know they're there, you know, and, because pretty soon, I think, as our audience told us, we're probably going to be meeting twice a week.
Luckily,
between the
people
school.
usually, it looks like that a lot of people don't bother with Mondays though, luckily, so
Right,
the
right,
other committees.
right, exactly.
Meetings tend to be slower too during the winter. For whatever reason.
Right, right,
All
right.
right, anything else?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
All in favor?